So, you want to learn how to draw amazing line art? Well, that's exactly what I'll show you in this video. We'll take a look at some great examples of line art and how you can learn to draw lines just as well. Let's get started. Every drawing starts with a line. Almost. To get a better idea of line art, let's go all the way back to some of the oldest drawings known to man, cave paintings. These paintings that have been discovered in caves all around the world date thousands and thousands of years ago. And as you can see in this picture, this particular painting is actually made of lines. The artist here used lines to depict a bovine animal. But you see, the thing is, with line art, as simple as it may be, you still get a clear picture of what is being depicted. Which is why with line art, every line counts. Mediums that use line art can be manga, anime, comics, cartoons, or even traditional paintings. In this case, we can see the Great Wave, drawn by the famous Japanese artist Hokusai, clearly depicted this painting with the use of lines, showing the edges, the contours of the wave in a simplified manner. However, one thing to note with all of these illustrations that I'm showing you right now is that despite all of them using lines to depict their art, they all display a certain style, a certain distinctive style. And if you want to have your own style, all you need to do is copy. So the way to do that is to basically just stick to one style at a time and just study it. And by studying, I mean copying it. Now when you copy, of course, don't go out claiming that it's your own artwork. However, what you can do is by copying your favorite artist or artwork, you sort of get to download the knowledge that went behind every line of this artwork. So by copying several of the same artwork by the same artist, you can then understand how the lines were created and so on. So once you're done studying one artist, you then move on to the next artist who you actually admire, and you repeat the same process of copying their artwork and then eventually downloading the knowledge from their artwork. And once you do this enough times, that is copying other artists that you admire, eventually what's going to happen is that all of those different styles are going to merge into your own style. Let's take a look at the characteristics of lines. So lines are there to show edges, the limits of objects, and to create shapes, to make it easier for us, the viewer, to comprehend what we're looking at. Lines can vary in terms of style, in terms of texture, but most are simply a combination of straight or curvy lines. Also very important to note is that lack of line quality can easily ruin your art. So how do you improve your line art? Well, the thing is, it's going to take a lot of practice, a lot of mileage. But to get better at line art, you need to avoid chicken scratch. Basically, going over each line with tiny little scratches. You have to stop doing that, and you have to draw more fast, fluid, confident lines, and you practice over and over and over again until you see that you're able to draw the types of lines and take them in the direction that you want to take them to get much cleaner line art. The trick is, if you're not satisfied, redo it. And most importantly, don't fear failure, especially if you're drawing in digital. Because the thing is, if you're drawing, let's say on a tablet, you don't have to worry about having to erase because you can just undo. Another important thing is to practice drawing in different ways. So you want to try drawing from your elbow or your shoulder instead of just your wrist. Drawing from the wrist is fine for detail. But if you want to have broad, confident strokes that really make your line art look professional, then you need to draw from your elbow or your shoulder. An exercise you can do to really improve your line art quality is to draw 30 lines, 30 curvy lines, and what you want to then do is draw 30 ellipses. To help you guide your lines, you can draw dots and try to connect the dots. So if I show you an example here of an artwork I did previously, you can see that I start off with a very rough sketch. And once I'm satisfied with the sketch and I feel like it's complete, I can't take it any further, that's when I lower the opacity and I go over each line very carefully. Now mind you, I'm applying a type of style that I like over the rough lines. And that's something that you can do as well. By studying different artists, their line art, eventually you'll know what you like and don't like and incorporate it into your own art. And that's what basically creates your style. By exploring different artists, different artworks, and even different mediums. When it comes to digital art, you can explore different brushes that are available. For example, for Procreate, there are a ton of free brushes available online, so feel free to explore and discover what you actually like drawing in. Alright guys, so that concludes this video on how to improve your line art. At the end of the day, we all have our preferences when it comes to not just line art, but art in general. However, I think if there's one thing we can all agree on is clean, confident line art equals good line art. If you found this video helpful in any way, please make sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified each time I post new content. On that note, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.